students to join as quickly as possible. So this is going to be another important session on for prelims 2025. I'll take another 1-2 minutes to start the session so that the other students join. I'll talk about the basic mistakes also, the common mistakes committed by students, especially regard to this CSAT. I hope the audio and video is clear. If it's not clear, you can comment. Hi, Satish Reddy. So if you can just tell me whether it's clear or not. Once if it is clear, then we'll start. Yeah. Then. Uh, yeah, please join quickly. I don't want you to miss anything from the session. Yeah, hi Mahesh. Hello Pawan. So yeah, shall we begin? Shall we start? Or shall we wait? It's already 9. So I'll start here. Okay. We all know. See, first I'll talk about the common mistakes, right? So actually, please do not comment, unnecessary things here, right? So the common mistakes I'll tell you about the CSAT. First thing, they do not give enough importance, enough time to CSAT paper, like many people. They think they will start CSAT after just 2-3 months before the examination and something and all, right? And they will not have proper strategy because see, anyway GS you have so many mock tests, right? So many materials. You have people can go through PYQs properly and they do something for the GS, right? When it comes to CSAT, many people lack understanding of the paper itself, right? First of all, they do not understand what is demanded for the CSAT paper. First thing. Second thing is that they do not give, as I said, they do not give enough time practice. Even if they practice unnecessary things. Is the second thing, right? So the third mistake is that how to balance this quant reason part and comprehension part. As we all know, we have two divisions there, if not three divisions, we can say. One is comprehension, second is quant, and third is reasoning, right? Or we can just combine quant and reasoning, that is one part, and comprehension, one part. They do not know how many questions you should attempt from passages, how many questions you should attempt from quant and reasoning, what type of questions should be attempted from quant and reasoning. See, you cannot go randomly and just look at the questions and you start attempting the paper. No, you go with proper strategy. Again, as I say, more than hard work for the prelims, you need smart work. For mains, again, it is a different one. But when it comes to prelims, it is more about smart work and literally understanding the question paper here because we do not have anything else. Like we do not have proper sources, for the preparation and all. So the more you understand the question paper, the easily you can clear it, right? So as I mentioned, the common mistakes. Once again, I'm repeating the common mistakes committed by students here. So the first one, as I said, they did not give enough time to the paper, CSAT paper. Many of them like keep on reading GS paper only, and only 1 or 2 months before the exam just start CSAT. Secondly, so they do not know how to separate this comprehension and the quant part, right? I keep on saying like you have to know what is asked in the comprehension, what is asked in the quant and reasoning, right? The third common mistake, as I said, right, yeah. So, so the first one is not giving enough time to the CSAT paper. Second, they are not understanding what is asked from comprehension and this quant, right? So let's see how to deal the CSAT paper. First thing, let us say you have 6 months of time, then start practicing basic math questions. Many of you think that CSAT requires advanced knowledge of this maths and quant, But trust me, if you go through 4 5 years of question papers, you will find very very basic. Literally, they're asking LCM, HCF, averages, percentages. The divisibility. Okay, like divisibility may be difficult for some people, but again, they are the basics. They are given in the first chapter of any quant book, right? Percentages, averages. Of course, yes. Like as an officer, you are expected all these basics max, especially up to the 10th standard, right? So many of you do not do these basics and go. For example, many questions there is a term called integers. If you do not know what are integers, what are prime numbers, what are natural numbers, what are whole numbers, again many times the natural numbers, the term natural number is repeated. What is natural number? What is whole number? Right? Many of you go to the examination without studying the basics. That is again one of the biggest mistake. Please don't do that. First of all, if you do not have basic math knowledge, again, there's nothing wrong to read the basics. So go through the number system, prime numbers, what are natural numbers, what is LCM, what is HCF, percentages, how you calculate these percentages, averages, how you come to this, how to make these averages, sum, and even the board mass. Even during our childhood, we used to learn about board mass, like bracket, off, division. This like how we have to solve a the sum. The See, these are the basic things which you should not, and these are asked again and again. I'm telling you, again, you sit and you see the question paper, you will find many of these basic terms, right? So always have very strong hold of these basic concepts. Percentages, you should be able to do it very quickly. You should not again take time, because there's the time is the major challenge. You have 2 hours of time, and you have to take 40 to 45 minutes for passages. Again, I'll tell you how to take, uh, separate time for passages and quant. However, I'm telling you, you have only 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes for quant. You should be able to solve at least 25 to 30 questions. Only, and more than that, you very difficult. Last 4 5 years, the questions have been somewhat tricky. Not I would say difficult, but very tricky and time consuming. It takes more time generally, right? If you have time, many people can solve a lot of questions. So if you want to save time, then you have to practice. Simply practice, nothing else. In maths, you open the book, the quant book, and start practicing from the basics. The first you practice more basics things. Once you're done with the basics, right, then what you have to do, this is very important. I'm talking about quant and reasoning part. You have 52 questions. Note it down. You have 52 or 53 max questions in the quant and reasoning. There will be some very difficult questions. Let us not even touch that. Like 10, 20, or 15 or 20 questions will be very tough. We are not going to touch them. There will be 20 to 25 easy to moderate questions which you can solve without any formula. Literally just with your basic common sense, basic knowledge of maths, the number system and all, then your analytical skills. Just with the help of these two things, you can solve 20 to 25 questions easily, right? So here 20 to 25 questions. Then comprehension, as I said, there are 27, 26, 27, 28 questions, right? So I'm telling you, you have to attempt all this 27. You don't have any choice. You cannot leave any question, because sometimes the quant part becomes very difficult. Then you will be able to do only 15 to 20 questions there, right? In English, irrespective of difficulty, you can attempt the question, right? So I suggest you have to attempt 27 passages. So 27 here, 22, 25 there, almost 45 to 52 questions you can attempt, and that is a very good number. Those who attempt more than 45 questions and around 50, 52, the probability of clearing CSAT is very high. If you attempt less than 40, the probability becomes very, very less. And personally, if you attempt less number of passages, again, it will be difficult, because many times quant becomes very difficult. No, not difficult because of time consuming. You won't be able to attempt more questions because of time, right? Keeping in these things, so the average number of questions goes to 45 to 52. This is a very good number. If you can do more than 52, then definitely there are people who will do 60, 65 questions also. They are exceptional. They are very smart people, and we cannot. Many of us are very average students. Trust me. So let us not compare ourselves with the exceptional student. So 45 to 52 is very good number. Right? You will be doing that. I said, even you have 2 months of time. What you are going to do now? The next 2 months of time, don't do random things. Whatever I am saying, do this properly, you will see yourself like you will do in a better place. First thing, go to quant. Last take 4 5 years of question papers. Last 5 years paper, you will see there are always repetitive questions. I'm telling you, people say that sir, this year completely a different paper. No, that is not will happen. That will never happen in any CSAT paper or any UPSC paper. They'll never completely change the pattern or something. There, as I said, there will be 15 to 20 topics. I even I've noted down. I'll tell you. I'll share that topics with you, which are very common, very easy, very repetitive. You can do them without any proper formulas and all. Right. So now let's now talk about this content reasoning part. Then I'll come to comprehension part. Right. So as I said, you should be able to identify 20 to 25 repeated questions and topics from last 5 years papers that will be there. Even I could identify, right? I'll share you almost 13 topics from which you have more than 15, 20, 25 questions out of this 15 topics, right? 10 to 15 topics. You have more than 20, 25 questions and they're repetitive. Very easy, repetitive, and we can do solve them without, the any specialized formula or knowledge, right? So what are these topics? Let's see. This is the first important topic, coding. You have coding, like they'll give you alphabets and they'll say like, then they'll say this is coded as this thing, like AB is coded as 1 2, then what is CD? Simple. These type of questions are asked. Or AB is written as EF, right? EF is written as something else. Like these type of questions are very easy. You need some kind of analytical skills only. You have alphabets, you have just alphabets question. Simply, you have 26 alphabets, right? Based on alphabets only, you have 2 or 3 questions. One is something related to this, images. How this alphabet is, looks in the mirror or something in the water. How this alphabet. So these are very easy type of reasoning questions. There are almost 1 or 2 or 3 types of questions from this topic: coding and decoding. Right? Note it down. This is always repetitive. If you do not know how to do coding, and just go and search on YouTube or something. Simply, they will teach you. Then, as I said, Bodmar's principle. Simply based on Bodmar's principle, there is 1 or 2 questions. Then number sequences and series, alphabet series and number sequence series. Like the sequence and series type of questions. I'll just tell you from the question paper itself. Right? They'll say like A, then dash, BC dash, CD dash. Then you have to fill this sequences and this, filling these series, right? At the same time, 1 3 5 7 9, what comes next after this? These type of questions are again very simple. If you do not solve them, again the problem can be time. So just to save time, you have to watch the videos. You have to learn these topics very well. You cannot go without learning these topics, right? As I said, coding. So okay, let us come to other topics here. Then directions. 1 or 2 questions related to directions. You're turning left, turning right. You cannot make mistakes in this type of directions, right? Again, direction sometimes related to angle. Like what is the angle which the person is standing, right? 130, 120 degrees or something. You can do it on the the plain paper. You just draw the directions and all. You'll get it, right? Directions questions. Some of the pages. Again, these pages, the numbers in the pages, what is the sum of the numbers in the pages of the particular book and all. This again repetitive. You have to learn this topic. Very easy. Clock and calendar. Another important. Repetitively, clock is asked. You have to know the basics of clock, like the total 360 degrees. What is the difference between each minute? Minutes, again, it is divided into minutes, hours, minutes hand, clock hand, hours hand, how they intersect and all. Very basic knowledge you require for clock and this calendar, right? This is available. Then you have Venn diagram type of questions, like the social, like science students are 30, math students are 40, the overall class is 50 students. How many read both science and maths? Again, you can do it with the help of Venn diagram or the normal division and all, right? There are 2 types of dealing these Venn diagrams. Again, you go and do this Venn diagram properly. Age related questions, right? I'm talking about this last 5 years papers only. I'm not talking about last, before that. 24, 23, 22, 21. In these last 4 years only, these questions are very repetitive. Almost I said 10 to 15 topics are there, out of which you have 20 to 25 questions easily asked from this topic. Measurements, simply, if 1 liter is equal to 1000 ml, then what you call the measurements related to weight, length, the what you called volume. Okay, just Google it, and you will find the different SI units, right? SI units and all. You have to learn the measurements. See, as an officer, simply we are expected to know these measurements, right? This is very common, and they are used in day-to-day life also. When you become an IAS officer, IPS officer, whatever, if you do not know the basic measurements, how can you solve the problem, right? That is the reason they are asking you. I'm telling you, UPSC will ask you very common sense questions. They'll definitely check your common sense, officer like quality. An officer is expected to have common sense, because you're going, for example, you become an IAS or IPS officer, you are going to deal with millions of people in your district or later in the state. And if you make small mistakes while doing some projects, it will lead to disasters. And you are not expected to commit such kind of mistakes. Right? If you make big mistakes, that doesn't matter. But small mistakes you cannot do. And even this math will help you to solve a problem very easily. Right? Math, generally, people think math is not related. Yeah, math is everywhere, it is involved. Whatever the project you do, if you do not have basic mathematical calculations, how can you go ahead with the projects? Right? So alphabet related questions, as I said, so clock, calendar, see, I think then statement based questions. There are almost 6 questions, statement based questions. Again, these statements are asked based on the basic number system, the basic numbers, averages, percentages. Based on that, they have asked this one question and two statements. Then they will ask you, you can solve this question using only one statement, only two statements, without two statements, or something like this. But the question is asked from basic number system, percentages, averages. I don't know why. See, I'll tell you, I have given 5 serious attempts. 5 serious attempts, because first attempt I didn't even know syllabus and all. I just went randomly and sat for the exam, so I have no idea what was happening. However, once I started my serious preparation, I gave 5 serious attempts, out of which, see, I am from non-maths background. I completely come from history background, and though I was good at maths during school days and all, I lost my touch, because almost 7, 8 years, almost 9, 10 years after my school, I gave my second serious attempt. So by that time, I think I do not have much touch with the maths. However, I focus completely on PYQs, the basic maths. The first serious attempt I gave, I could clear CSAT. Right. The second time, only one time out of my 5 serious attempts, only once I failed in CSAT, just because I did not manage time, and again the PYQs did not solve PYQs, and I had some kind of anxiety stress. Because of that reason only, I failed once. Otherwise, I cleared 4 times CSAT out of my 5 serious attempts. Trust me. And I don't say I'm a very good at maths or something, and I'm clearing it with 20, 30 cutoff. No, 10, 15 maximum. Above the cutoff marks, I was clearing the CSAT paper. But still, 21, 22, 23, 20, they're all tough years, like for the CSAT. Yet I could clear it. I was just doing smart work. Trust me, I'm doing, and I was scoring well in GS also. I cleared 4 times the GS paper also. It's not a big deal. I'm telling you why people are very much worried. Some institutions, some teachers also creating unnecessary fear, about this paper and all. No, not to afraid. No need to, even without classes also. See, if you do not have good knowledge, you can attend classes. Nothing wrong in that. But even without classes also, you can solve the CSAT paper, right? So as I said, first, you should be able to identify 20 to 25 questions from the last 5 years papers based on these topics only. I said, note down these topics. From these topics only, the questions are asked, right? And you should be able to solve them again, at least 5 times, 6 times, until you have clarity over these topics. Because the similar types of questions will be asked, just the change in the values or numbers. That's it. The process, the same, it will be there. So for that, what you can do, you go to YouTube, you will find so many videos on this PYQ solutions. Better you watch PYQ solutions, and not all, only these 25 questions, you repeatedly see the video. They will explain you. There are very good teachers on YouTube also who will explain you how to solve these type of questions. Calendar, how to solve calendar questions, how to solve clock questions, how to solve Venn diagram questions, how to solve statement-based questions. So you see them repeatedly, you practice them repeatedly. I'm telling you, repeated things will help you. Do them, practice them, right? 25 questions. If you are able to attempt these things, you're done with your quant and reasoning. No need to attempt probability questions or something, random questions. Don't waste time, right? Let's talk about now the comprehension part. Again, here another big mistake done by the students is they take all the comprehension questions as one type of the passages, right? I'll tell you that also. Okay, what to attempt first with the passages and all. I'll tell you when go to examination all what to start and all. I'll tell you. Right. Let's talk about passages. See, passages are not one type. They are divided into four types. Go 4 or 5 types. You go and see the paper. You'll analyze. Many people do not even know this. They think all the passages are similar, and you have to assemble all the passages similar way. No, that is wrong. You cannot attempt. You cannot read the passages same way for all the passages. Every question is different. Like all these passages are divided into 5 types. Each type will have 4 or 5 questions under it. For example, assumption based questions are different. Assumption is different from inference. There are inference type of questions, assumptions, corollary questions, and statement questions, right? Yeah. So somebody saying that for me, like, yeah, no, don't. You should not. Sir. Go see the question. Question itself. They say what is the critical uh, message of this passage, critical idea of the passage, critical message, core message, what author is trying to say from this message. This is one type of questions, right? They can be clubbed into one type. Then inference, like how will you take some, like what kind of inference you can take from the passage? That is one type of question. Assumption, based on some assumption, what is right, what is correct or not. Then corollary. So what is corollary? What is assumption? What is inference? Basic things you can learn. Even just Google it. You know, we have. See, I'm telling you, when you started my preparation, we do not have AI tools like where we have to search Google only, right? Now there are so many AI tools like Grok is there. You have Gemini is there. Then you have ChatGPT is there. Just type what is inference. It will give you 1, 2, 3 paragraphs. You know the answer to your what is inference, what is assumption, what is statement what is corollary, what is critical idea, right? Once you know the meaning, then again solve the PYQs only again and again. Just solve according to these types only. Right? Once what you do, one day you sit, solve all assumption based questions from 24 to 20. 5 years paper, only assumption questions. Don't touch all the passages. Only assumption questions. So 5 will be there. 5 years paper, 25 questions you solve them. Take 45 minutes, solve all this. Next day you solve all inference type of questions, right? So inference type of questions one day. One day you solve all statement based questions. So this is the way you solve, and not something like you take a question paper, you from first passage to 27th passage, you randomly solving the passages, then you will check the answers. You will see, okay, some are right, some are wrong. No? Unless until you know the difference between this assumption, inference, and all, you will get wrong. But once you know, and again, the way UPSC frames the question and it frames the answer is similar. Trust me. Is it clear now? Some people are saying the video is not clear. Please comment like if the audio and video is clear. So what I'm trying to say here, yeah. So yes, it's important that you solve these questions and you understand. Like for example, UPSC similar type of questions in assumptions or inference it will ask. See, that is what you have to read the UPSC mindset. Without reading the UPSC mindset, you will not understand what is the answer. You will get confused. There will be two answers. Like it will look that there are two answers for this question, and sometimes definitely they are there, and they delete 1 or 2 passages also. So, but once you understand the UPSC mindset, UPSC asks certain type of questions repeatedly. Like there is a pattern from the last 5 years also. Every year there will be a pattern. Similar type of questions. So that is how I cracked. First I cracked the UPSC mindset, then I cracked CSAT. Literal enter. I used to think why this question is asked, how it is asked, then what is inference, what is Once you know these things and practice 5 years papers again and again, 4 times, 5 times at least, that is the only way. You solve many mocks because mocks are many a times they are different from the UPSC pattern. Okay, you may solve 1 or 2 mocks for CSAT and all, but more than that, just I told you, even once I brought my another friend, Krishna Srivastav, who's into Indian Foreign Service, he also told the same thing. And also, if you talk to any topper, I, I'm telling you, they'll also tell you the same thing. They practice PYQs again and again, especially for CSAT more than mock test, which is always about PYQ paper, understanding the questions, the mindset. Again, I said strategy in the beginning. I said you have 25 questions in topics, 15 topics from the quant. Again, 27 passages you have to attend. So this is how. So finally, I'll conclude here. So what to attempt? When you go to the exam center, first attempt passages quickly. Take 40 to 45 minutes max for the passages. Quickly attempt them. Then take 1 hour, 15 minutes for 20 to 25 or more than 25 questions you are able to solve. It's fine, but 25 questions you should be able to solve in 1 hour, 15 minutes. It's a very good time. Enough time to read the question properly and answering the quant and reasoning, right? So start with the comprehension, then end with, because what happens in mathematics, once you get stuck, anxiety, stress will increase, and later you won't be able to read the passages properly. So better with the fresh mind, read the passages. As you know, there are the 4 or 5 kinds of passages. You have to deal each passage like each type differently. Definitely, you'll get proper answers. And then go to quant and reasoning sections, and you know it very clearly that clock calendar you will do, this Venn diagrams you do. So you can quickly skip the questions. Like out of 52, no need to reach each and every question. That will waste your time. So skip those questions which you are not going to attempt. Only those questions topics which you have prepared well. That will be there. Trust me. Go with this confidence that whatever I mentioned today, the topics, they will come in the next 25 prelims also. Trust me. No need to afraid. Solve this. Uh, Practice these topics. Go blindly. You will find the questions. Attempt them. Come back. You don't have to worry whether the questions will come or no. I'm telling you, they will come. They have to come. Then only nobody is going to clear if they do not give this kind of topics also. Only based on these topics, only many people, almost 10, 12,000 people will give means. So if they want 12,000 people also, they have to give simple questions. Have this logic. They are not going to. See, there will be 1,000 or 2,000 highly intellectual people, exceptional people who are doing quant. Rest of the 8,000, 10,000 people will clear by 10, 15 marks margin only. Trust me, because they are not going to spend too much time on CSAT. So many of them saw, even you go and check the toppers mark sheet. Any topper mark sheet, even top 100, top 200, many of them scored 75, 77, 78, 80, 85 max, like many of the toppers. So you don't have to score, like many people scored even 69, 70, 71 also. The toppers, I'm talking about toppers. Again, see, the attempts of passages. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you again, you asked the same question. I said you have to attempt all the passages. You do not follow, please try to follow the video properly. Do not ask this question, silly questions. I have explained it. Again, the same question, how many passages I have to ask. Again, somebody will ask, sir, how many questions I have to attempt from the quant. The whole thing I'm explaining here, have some common sense. Yeah, this is what is lacking among a lot of the students. Many students fail because they lack common sense. Maybe see, hard work doesn't matter. Almost everybody do hard work. They will feel, sir, I did hard work, I still am failing. Yeah, if you are going to be an officer, basic things you should have some intelligence. You should have analytical skills. First, develop that. You sit and randomly you read things and you feel I did very much hard work and I couldn't clear the exam. The exam paper is tough or something. You give complaints, excuses. Never give excuses, please. Please stop giving excuses. If you want to be an officer, you have to be very smart, and that is how the world is running now. Right? I'm trying to explain you all the basic things. So basic things should have common sense things, maths, and basic English also. The basic English, like you should be able to understand what is inference, what is assumption, and all. Right? So this is all about the today's session. Once again, I'll just conclude briefly. There are certain I'll talk about like 10 to 15 topics or 15 to 17, 18 topics, out of which you will get 25, 30 questions. And these you can solve. These are easy to moderate questions. These you can solve without any specialized formulas and all, right? So first thing is that, so basic questions. Sorry, I'm getting disturbed because of the comments and all. So once again, I'm repeating. So 25 to 30 questions you should be able to identify. These topics will be repetitive. Solve these topics again and again. Practice them. Watch YouTube videos for these topics only, right? Then passages again. I said 4 to 5 types of passages will be there. You have to attempt all the passages, 27 passages, right? Watch PYQ solutions on YouTube. There are many. Please, special passages. Do not watch any uh, videos because many of them get wrong. Just UPSC answer kits you download and solve the passages. Check the UPSC answer key. Just try to understand UPSC mindset. That is very important. You have to attempt all the passages and 25 questions here, 20 to 25 questions in maths. You have to practice these 4 to 5 years of papers, 5 to 6 times, right? For content reasoning, you can watch videos on YouTube again and again. See, don't do it just for one time. You have to do again and again. Then only you will be able to do it, right? This is the first. This is the most important thing, right? Yeah. So the rest of the things, I'll keep updating through my the live sessions. If any other issue if you are facing, please comment in the. I've just opened the discussion thread in my channel, so you can keep posting your issues. If there is a common query, and I'll make a session on this thing. Last time I have made important video on GS paper, how you have to directly hit the topics, what kind of topics are repetitive, right? I said, say for example, minor minerals, major minerals, in that is frequently asked, and many people do not even prepare that major minerals, minor minerals topic. And it sometimes may not be there in any standard books also. Directly go and search it on YouTube, or on YouTube, or this AI, or some whatever source you have. That's all again. So I'll end the session here. Hope this will benefit a lot of students who are really struggling with this CSAT paper. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.